I think you have to be a little bit nuts to teach in the middle school, and so that kind of makes for a very interesting faculty. You have kids that are 10 years old, 6th graders, very much still elementary kids, very needy, very almost frightened to be here because it's such a change from elementary school. And then you have 7th graders who are just about walking hormones, and then you have 8th graders who are the king of the hill, but they're also a little bit concerned because they're going to go to high school next year, so they're going to leave this little middle school bubble. And you have such an extreme range of ages and interests and problems and talents that you almost have to be like a rubber band. You just have to adjust every hour and every kid. I think I relate to kids well. I think that's my best talent. And I think another thing is that I like to learn, and I think children need to see that modeled. Aziz Waheed nominated me, and after he nominated me, Mrs. Mowry asked me to write a letter. I had to write a letter. I talked about how important the students are, and that's the reason that we're here, and that we need to not lose focus on that, and that teaching is really, it's a sacred trust, and sometimes people destroy that trust, and it's pretty serious, and I think we need to remember that trust.
But she's so passionate about everything she does, and that was one thing I talked about. And another thing I talked about in her nomination is just the way she mentors us new teachers. You know, you can't learn everything out of a book. You need some life experiences, and as I've said, she's done that in her experience. And what you find out is not everybody's willing to share those experiences. Some people just learn from them and they keep that to themselves, and that's just how they are, and that's okay. But she was willing to just, you know, sit down with us. There's probably 3 newer teachers in our science department, and she just kind of coaches us along, and it's been extremely helpful. So when I came in and I saw those standards, I was thinking, man, how do I even start? How do I approach this? And thankfully for me, Maureen kind of took me under her wing, as she does all the new science teachers, and just mentored us along with lessons, with how to handle situations. And for that, I'll be thankful forever, because she's made my life way easier.
Well, the thing that I like about science is that you just learn all the time with the kids, because it's not static, it doesn't stay the same. And so every year, it's almost like a new year, because there are new things that have been discovered, new ways to present that information. And so it's very lively and very interesting all the time. Drama is a hobby, and I've been in a couple of college plays. I was in plays in high school, and it's just kind of been a lifelong interest of mine. And when we were given options to do the class, the Power Hour class that we have is an enrichment class, and when we were given options for that, it was suggested that I do the drama then instead of after school, because I'd been doing it as an after-school program. They're not mutually exclusive. A scientist has to be able to communicate, and I think it's really important for the kids to be able to speak in front of an audience. And so I do projects in science class that require that they speak in front of an audience, and this is just a little different format. I had always wanted to be a teacher. I had teachers who were great teachers. I had wonderful teachers, and I very much wanted to be like they were. And so it was always an interest. When in the summers I used to play school. So it was a natural thing for me to move from being a student to being a teacher. It's just fun. It's really fun. The kids are fun. The atmosphere is alive, and you know, I've talked to people that have retired, and it just doesn't sound that much fun. This is way more fun.